Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for October 6th. October 6th is the 279th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 280th in leap years, with 86 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is patent. Patent is a word that has a variety of meanings, so we're going to focus on the meaning in reference to its use as a noun, where a patent is a grant made by a government that confers upon the creator of an invention the right to make and use and sell that invention for a set period of time, and or an invention protected by such a grant. Patent can also be used as an adjective to indicate protection by a patent or pertaining to or dealing with patents. It can also be used as a verb, meaning to take out a patent on, or to obtain exclusive rights to an invention or process by a patent. There are more meanings to the word patent, but that'll get us through for now. By the way, as of summer 2018, the U.S. Patent Office had issued its 10 millionth patent. That's a lot of patents. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. Ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Stay to the end for those outtakes because, we're likely to have some mistakes will be made. And remember that you can share this video with others using a link in your email, messaging, or social media. Also, there's a link in the show notes to my Day in History playlist. You'll find that in the show notes, either on Vimeo or YouTube, or if you're on YouTube, I'll put a link in the iCards up there also, if you'd like to binge watch things. I will warn you that when I first started doing this, I was awkward and stilted. I'm much more comfortable in front of the camera now. But there you go. I have been doing this for over a year now, too. So, we're kind of running on to a different way that I approach things. And am I really going to tell the same stories year after year? We'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, it'll be right up there in the corner or in the show notes. And with that, oh, yikes. The other day we mentioned, was that yesterday or the day before? We mentioned a peasant rebellion in China in 23 AD. Well, on this day, October 6th of 23 AD, these rebels decapitated the emperor, Wang Mang. German immigrants founded Germantown, Pennsylvania on October 6, 1683. This is the birthday of George Westinghouse, born October 6, 1846. He received dozens of patents in his lifetime for such items as grain and seed winnowers to pneumatic pumps to electric railway innovations. But I think one of the most dramatic, and I didn't read through the descriptions of all his patents, but one of his early ones and maybe most important ones was the air brake for trains. Before this invention, trains had to be stopped by applying the brakes to each car. So the brakeman or brakemen had to run from one car to the next and apply the brakes, and this could be inefficient and fatal if there were an obstruction in the track or a track failure ahead. If they couldn't get stopped in time, that'd be all she wrote. So Westinghouse's air brake system was much more efficient and effective and was adopted by railways almost universally. George Westinghouse lived to the age of 67. This is the birthday of Norwegian ethnographer and explorer Thor Heyerdahl, born October 6, 1914. He's notable for making ocean voyages in primitive craft to demonstrate how ancient people could actually have made such travels. For example, in 1970, he sailed from the west coast of Africa to Barbados in a papyrus reed boat. And perhaps more famously, his Kon-Tiki expedition in 1947, where he sailed 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean from South America to the Tuamotu Islands in a hand-built raft. Remarkable human being, Thor Heyerdahl. He lived to the age of 87. A movie called The Jazz Singer, the first prominent talkie, opened October 6, 1927. You know what talkies are, right? Back when they first started making movies, they didn't have sound, so they would film them silent. They'd have, words up on the screen for you to read what the conversation was or any narration required. And eventually they learned how to put sound on movies, and those were called talkies. So The Jazz Singer was the first prominent talkie. On October 6, 1948, there was a really bad earthquake in Turkmenistan near Ashgabat. This one was a 7.3 magnitude, and it was really bad. I'll tell you what, it's never a good time to have an earthquake, but this one hit at 1:12 in the morning. Concrete structures were heavily damaged, nearly all the brick buildings collapsed, and freight trains were derailed. Casualty estimates vary widely from 10,000 to 110,000. That's a pretty wide variation. Aid to victims and restoration of needs and infrastructure was given by the Soviet Army. Pope John Paul II became the first pope to visit the White House on October 6, 1978. Egyptian President Anwar Sadat was murdered by Islamic extremists on October 6, 1981. And Instagram was founded on October 6, 2010. And I think that's going to do it for us today. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. Always do. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. Thanks for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with others. Be sure and let me know your thoughts in the comment section as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my show notes are... Okay, hold on. Okay, get serious here. That sounds like a pretty ambitious project. Okay, just leave that part out. Not the first day, but the birthday. I guess the birthday is the first day. This is what happens when you don't clean up your script. I might leave that part out. I don't know how all that's going to go together, or if it's even going to make it to the video. We'll just see. That's not going to go. Yeah, we're going to cut those out. That'll all be laying on the cutting room floor. So I'll just do that whole thing over. That might not make it into the video. We'll see. Changing it up.